Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've never seen anything like this. This isn't just another rumor or a simple trade whisper, it's a seismic shift that could redefine the entire landscape of the NFL in 2026. Something is happening behind the scenes, something so big, so unprecedented, that it's almost impossible to believe. Yet, here I am, telling you it's happening, and the evidence points to one shocking, explosive conclusion you won't want to miss. But first, I need you to do something crucial: hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and activate the bell. Why? Because what I'm about to reveal is for the insiders, for those who want the real scoop, the truth that's buried beneath layers of smoke and mirrors. If you're serious about knowing what's coming, if you want to see the future of the NFL unfold before your eyes, you don't want to miss this. The moment is now, time to get inside the game like never before. Let me take you deep into the heart of this story. It's not just about a player, it's about a franchise, an entire league-wide chess match, and a secret project that's been brewing since the end of last season. The Steelers, a team with a legendary history and a relentless fan base, are on the verge of orchestrating a move so audacious, so strategic, that it will shake the NFL to its core. They're eyeing a player who's been through the storm, someone who's faced setbacks, injuries, and doubts but has emerged in the shadows with a fire that could ignite the Steel City's future. And that player isn't just any quarterback. It's Hendon Hooker. Now, I know what some of you are thinking: Hooker? That guy? Isn't he still a project? Didn't he just move around the league? Well, that's where the story gets even more intriguing. Because what I've uncovered is a clandestine plan, a behind-closed-doors alliance with some of the league's most powerful figures, all revolving around this young man who, despite his limited NFL experience, possesses a raw, untapped potential that could make him the next superstar. But how did we get here? What's the full picture? And why would the Steelers, a proud franchise with a defensive identity rooted in grit and steel, suddenly pivot to chase a mobile, dual-threat quarterback far from the NFL's mainstream radar? That's exactly what I'm about to break down. Let's start with the current state of the Steelers, their glaring needs, and why they're looking beyond the usual suspects to reshape their future. The Steelers, under Mike McCarthy's recent hire, an outsider with a championship pedigree, are clearly positioning themselves for a revolution. The defense remains their backbone, with Alex Highsmith emerging as a cornerstone pass rusher and a formidable secondary led by the young talent Gerald Alexander has nurtured. But offensively? That's where the cracks are. Ben Roethlisberger's absence created a vacuum at quarterback, and while Mason Rudolph has filled in, he's shown flashes but not the consistency or explosive talent that can elevate a team into true contender territory. The question now is, can this new regime find the game changer they desperately need? And if so, who's the player that can deliver? Now, let's zoom in on Hendon Hooker. What's so unique about him? Why all this buzz around the 28-year-old signal caller with limited NFL experience? Because, folks, this is not just about raw talent, although he's got plenty of that. It's about his potential to be a transformational figure. When I watched his college tapes from Tennessee, I saw something rare: a quarterback with elite arm strength and a quick release, a guy who can make all the throws with a natural fluidity. His mobility is second to none. Think Lamar Jackson meets Jalen Hurts in terms of explosiveness, and he's a leader on the field, the kind of player who elevates everyone around him. The analytics back this up. His 2022 season was a masterpiece: 3,135 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, and a quarterback rating soaring past 140 before his injury. His EPA, expected points added, per play was one of the highest among college quarterbacks that year, and his athleticism metrics? Off the charts. Yet, despite his elite profile, he's been dismissed as a project, a second-tier talent with glaring questions about NFL readiness. That's where the insiders see a massive miscalculation. Why? Because Hendon's recent injuries, notably the ACL tear against South Carolina, have temporarily sidelined his prospects, but his physical tools and mental toughness have NFL scouts and coaches rethinking everything. Teams are whispering about his hidden upside, his elite athletic profile, and his ability to create plays out of nothing. And, more importantly, rumors swirl that some of the league's most covert decision-makers see him as the perfect puzzle piece for a team that's on the cusp of greatness. Now, here's the twist: this isn't just a player-for-player trade scenario. No, this is about a strategic, multi-layered move, orchestrated by the Steelers' front office and their powerful insiders, aimed at flipping the NFL's quarterback landscape on its head. Imagine a package where Pittsburgh offers a combination of future picks, perhaps including their 2026 first-rounder, a second-rounder, and a promising young defensive piece, plus a salary cap maneuver that would make this deal feasible. This isn't just a gamble, it's a calculated masterpiece of NFL chess. Picture this: the Steelers, under McCarthy's aggressive vision, sees Hendon Hooker as their long-term franchise quarterback. But it's more than just the talent, it's the narrative. It's about what Hooker represents: resilience, a losing journey turned triumphant, an underdog story that resonates with the Steelers' blue-collar ethos. The league's top decision-makers know that to steal a franchise QB from another team, you have to make a bold statement. And the Steelers are no strangers to bold moves. Remember when they traded up for Santonio Holmes, or boosted their defense with high-profile picks? This would be their defining move. How would it all play out? Well, by leveraging their upcoming draft capital, they could trigger a domino effect, trading away a future first to the Lions or another team willing to part with a quarterback-starved franchise. They could throw in a versatile linebacker or a promising offensive lineman to sweeten the pot. The league's whispers suggest that the Jets, who recently signed Hendon from the practice squad, might be a key player in this game, swayed by the lure of draft picks and the chance to rebuild around new young talent. But the Steelers, with their rich history and their newfound aggressive approach under McCarthy, are believed to be pushing for a deal that makes sense, perhaps flipping a future first-round pick and a high-value player for Hendon Hooker outright. This leads to the next question: why would the Jets entertain such a deal? Well, after all, they've been in a rebuild mode. They signed Hooker as an intriguing developmental project, hoping he might blossom into a starter. But with Brady Cook showing flashes in the final games, and Tyrod Taylor's injury concerns looming, the Jets are open to reshuffling their deck. Their new front office, led by GM Joe Douglas, is known for calculated gambles. Remember their aggressive moves last offseason, and they might see Hooker's value as a premium asset to flip for future draft capital, especially if they believe their current roster has enough talent to compete in 2026. And it isn't just about the chips on the table. This whole scenario is driven by league-wide chess masters who see that Hendon Hooker, if acquired and developed properly, could become the league's next unicorn, a quarterback with dual-threat ability, high intelligence, and a charismatic leadership style that could turn a franchise around almost overnight. Imagine the Steelers transforming their offense into a high-octane, mobile-driven attack, with Hooker at the helm. What kind of chaos would that cause in the AFC North? Could you envision the Steelers becoming a juggernaut, a team capable of competing with the likes of Kansas City, Buffalo, or even Cincinnati? This isn't fantasy, it's a real possibility. Now, don't think this is just wishful thinking. The league's insiders are whispering that Hendon's agent is already talking to multiple teams, including the Steelers, about a possible deal before the NFL draft. The timing is perfect. The league's trade deadline is months away, and with the draft coming up, this could be the move of the decade. The NFL security team, the league offices, and even some ownership circles are aware of the quiet discussions swirling around Hendon Hooker and the Steelers. The league's internal buzz suggests this isn't just speculation, it's a well-planned, meticulously orchestrated maneuver to set up the 2026 season as the most unpredictable, most talked-about campaign in recent memory. And here's what you need to understand: the stakes are enormous. The Steelers, embracing this new chapter, could pivot from a defensive juggernaut into a high-powered dual offense, led by a quarterback who defies convention. It's a move that could elevate them to Super Bowl contenders almost immediately, especially if McCarthy's offensive genius maximizes Hooker's dual-threat potential. The league's power brokers are betting on this very timeline, an underdog story with a franchise that historically values resilience, toughness, and a little bit of steel in everything they do. Now, what's the real impact? Well, for the league, it signals a new era. Teams are willing to gamble big on youth, athleticism, and upside. For Pittsburgh, it's a bold statement. They see something in Hendon Hooker that most haven't yet realized. For the NFL fans? Prepare for chaos. Because if this move happens, we'll be talking about it for decades, about the franchise that dared to dream big, trusted its instincts, and changed the game forever. But I haven't even revealed the most shocking part yet. The secret that's buried beneath all these whispers, something so monumental that it could redefine what team building means in the NFL. I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's do a deep dive into Hendon Hooker's game, why he's the perfect fit for the Steelers' new blueprint, and what makes him the kind of player that leagues will be fighting over come April. Stay tuned, because the next part is where I'll break down the film, the stats, and exactly how this deal could unfold. Trust me, what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. This is more than a rumor, it's the beginning of a new NFL legend in the making.